we take out that mystery box, you must speak about it.
Yeah, no, he is actually my son. I slept with his mother 7 years ago, and something very, very beautiful happened. My record company, my lawyer, don't see the same as me sometimes.
But taking you guys on a journey of the music of the past, present, and the future. This is not just Mambo Tales. This is the Mambo Tales. We are here with literally a living legend, okay? We are here with the Brit Award-winning, Grammy Award-winning funk soul brother, Fatboy Slim.
Oh, thanks for having
Thank you
us.
so much.
What a build-up! What a build-up! I can only fail to disappoint from here on in.
So just to get started, I want to know personally, what was your inspiration to get into music, to becoming a DJ?
I always wanted to get into music, but when I was a kid, I just saw pop music and just thought, I want a piece of that. I want to do that. The DJing bit just came because I loved music so much. I bought all the records, and so I used to get invited to the parties because I had the records. Because pre-streaming, you know, you physically had to have the records there.
Right.
And one day somebody invited me to a party. I didn't know them that well. I said, "Are you just inviting me because I've got all the records?" And they kind of, yeah. I said, "The thing is, the records always get covered in vomit and cigarette butts and, you know, teenage parties."
Yeah, fair enough.
And so they said, "Well, what if my dad kind of hires those like double decks?
Yeah.
And you're in charge of the records and in charge of playing?" And I was like, "Okay, sounds fun." So she hired these decks, and something very, very beautiful happened, where I found out that I really loved playing my favourite records to people, sort of not controlling the party, but inspiring the party. And people seemed to like me playing my favourite records to them and waving my arms around in the air. So it was sort of from accidentally, but that was never, in those days, DJing wasn't a career, it was just a hobby. Just somebody who, if you had all the records, then that's what you're drifting into doing. But I always wanted to be a musician, and it took me about 20 years of doing both to realise I'm a better DJ than I am a musician or a songwriter.
Do you remember how old you were when you were in that stage?
Well, the stage of falling in love with music was about 8.
Okay.
The starting to DJ was about 14, 15.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm 60 now, so I've been DJing 45 years.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So I want to ask you about, you know, they say that you are kind of a pioneer of the big beat genre. How do you feel the big beat genre has kind of helped impact, you know, EDM in general?
Well, someone once told me that Big Beat was responsible for EDM, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I mean, the whole point of Big Beat was to open doors and mix genres, and, you know, because house was house, and hip hop was hip hop, and pop was pop, you know, and we kind of broke maybe just kind of blurred the boundaries,
a little bit, yeah.
And that sort of begat, and then blending those different beats and different influences, kind of what was EDM. But it kind of wasn't my vision that was where it ended up, because EDM's a little bit more commercial than I would have liked, and doesn't, I don't know. Instead, we started. But the thing is, we started by breaking rules, but then we just established a new formula, which was, you know, was another rule that needed to be broken. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think but we're just part of a long story, you know, that started with gospel music, and then funk and soul music, and then house music and hip hop and everything. And everything just sort of melds in, especially with the sort of global nature of the internet. Everybody just takes bits from others. So we're just part of a continuing and beautiful story.
You mentioned about taking bits from others. I had actually watched a clipping of you from 1989. I was born in 1989, so it was just so crazy to see it, where you were speaking about, you know, sampling music, getting samples of music, and like the concept of borrowing versus stealing. You know, just taking bits of music to create something. Could you speak a little bit more about that? I'm newer into this field, and I'm trying to learn more about it. It's so interesting to me. Could you speak a little bit about like the concept of sampling music for you when you're creating?
Well, there's two sides. I mean, you can sample just the noise. You can take a snare drum of somebody else's record. And though there's probably machines that can tell them that was their snare drum, I don't feel like I've kind of copied them. It's a sound, and but then you can take the whole chorus of a song and sample that. So for me, stealing is little bits here and there that no one would notice. The borrowing bit is where you take something, you say to the person, "Can I borrow this off you? Can you know? And I'll pay you for it. And I'll credit you and everything like that." So that for me, that's the distinction. And sometimes it's really nice to take a big chunk of a track,
right?
But to acknowledge it. Sometimes it's really nice to nick you know, a note of somebody's bass line, or nick something and mangle it so much that they wouldn't recognise that it was theirs in the first place. I do kind of like
play with that a little bit.
Yeah, I like the naughtiness of it. My record company, my lawyer, don't see the same as me sometimes.
But okay. So we did say you have pioneered, you know, the big beat genre, but you dance, not dance. You are involved in so many types of genres of music when it comes to mixing your music. I wanted to ask, has that something that has always been a part of like Fatboy Slim or part of who you are when you're creating, and where did that come from? Like the different types of sounds, different types of genres mixed into your type of sound, I guess.
I don't know. I just enjoy mixing things about. I would get bored if I made like the same kind of music all the time, and I like different kinds of music. And I suppose if I was a singer songwriter, you're bound by that. But when you're sort of sampling people, when you're DJing, you can play anything you want. There's no kind of real sort of structure to it. So it's nice not to have stuck to a structure,
right?
Especially if you're going to do it for 45 years, you've got to mix it around a bit to keep your own interest in it. Exactly. So yeah, I just like. I mean, it's strange when I'm choosing tunes for my set. I don't really know what the criteria of it is.
Really?
Apart from it turns me on, and I'm not saying I would never play, you know, a drum and bass record or a trance record, but I generally don't. But but every now and then I do. If there's one that really turns me on, so what glues my sets together is just, I don't know. It's a different idea. It's not a genre. It's more. I don't know. It's a kind of. It's like a groove. It's a groove with a really catchy hook.
Okay.
So, I tend to like music's got like a dirty groove or like a funky groove, but then a really catchy hook that everyone can sing along to.
So
that's the formula, basically. Okay. That's my formula.
And would you say that depending on where you're playing, do you change any of that up, really?
Or yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, yeah, because I can do stupid things here that I wouldn't get away with in Pasha.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, there's like the really stupid tunes that I enjoy the freedom to play, but I'm aware that I wouldn't play them at like a Glastonbury. So yeah.
Speaking of tracks and tunes, so we normally like to ask a DJ of your caliber, which is like top of the top, what your favorite project you have worked on was. I'm gonna switch it up. I wanted to ask you have so many amazing like tracks. I come from the States, a hip hop like background culture where and even I and all my friends have heard of you and heard of your music. Is there a track that maybe you're kind of tired of hearing of your own or anything of that nature? Just want to switch it up.
I'm tired of hearing. My least favorite tracks.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone's even asked you this before.
I don't know. Well, on the one, I mean, I've got two really big tracks, which is Praise You and Right Here, Right Now. And on the one hand, I love them because they've still got legs in them 20 years later, 25 years later. And that's really nice because it kind of keeps my career as a DJ going, even though I'm not releasing new stuff. And it's nice that they're sort of timeless. But sometimes I wish, and I don't know, it's not so much, I mean, I still play them in some shape or form normally during the set. I reference them, but I don't play them. But sometimes, like when I'm looking at Instagram and somebody does a post about me and they put Praise You on, it's like, other tracks are available. You know, so it's the fact that I'm sort of
are available.
I don't mind the longevity of it, but I do like the fact that I'm defined by those two tracks, and it's like there's something.
So it's like a gift and a curse type thing, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, at least I've got two. Some people they've only got one in their whole career. They must really hate that tune. At least I've spread it out somewhat.
Just a little bit. So we were speaking a little bit before the show about, you know, you're about to have another amazing set guaranteed here at Cafe Mambo. We love having you here every time. They love having you here every time. I wanted to ask you if you might have a Mambo memory, like something that stands out to you, you know, in your, I think you said 25 years of coming here and playing. That was just so special. I think
my complete, the moment that brought me to tears was my son has been coming here to watch me play since he was like literally that high. He would be in the DJ booth with me because it was the safest place, but he couldn't see out the top of the DJ, so he used to sit in the corner and just watch me play. So he went from that, so he's now 6'4".
He's a big guy.
And somewhere along that line, he started DJing. Somewhere along that line, he played here with me on a sunset.
Yep.
And he played the sunset, and then I was taken over from him. And my daughter was here too, and it was just, I was like, oh my God, this is like seeing a whole generation grow up in this place, loving this place and loving the sunset and what the brothers have and Javi have instilled here. And yeah, I cried. It's on film, you can see me crying, just going, I can't believe this is sort of like the coming of age of my son. It meant far more than any kind of bar mitzvah or anything like that. It's like, you've now played the sunset at Mambo. You are a man, my son.
You've been initiated.
Yeah. But also for him, it was such a thrill because he's grown up. You know, this is his benchmark. This was his first experience of what his dad did for a living.
Was it really?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, long before he was ever old enough to go into clubs. And, you know, I played Space for years, and Space closed the year before he was 18. And I asked them, I said, please, will you let my son come in just so he knows what his dad's been doing? And they let him, he got a special dispensation with as long as he had a minder, like a chaperone, that he came into the last time that I played Space.
Nice.
But yeah, no, but so aside from that, basically his whole world of clubbing was Mambo. And like he'd been twice a year, every year of his life. And for him, that was his only knowledge of what his dad did for a living. So yeah, no, it's very much, that's the beauty of it. The beauty of it is the sunset is so beautiful. It's free. You know, everybody, like even today, people are going, oh, I haven't got tickets. It's like, you don't need tickets. It's free. Just turn up. Down. And for me, it's the proper spirit of Ibiza. It's a little bit naughty. It's a little bit beautiful. It's a little bit free, and it's just got a kind of a warmth and goodness about it.
Wow, that was perfect answer. Perfect answer. So I want to ask you, you know, you've been doing this for so long, but I feel like every time, I think everyone here can agree, every time you come here, you have just the most amazing energy when you're in the booth. It's transmitted to the people transmit it back to you. But then the thing I've noticed, I've only been here 2 years covering you, but every time you come here, it feels like you're evolving still somehow. Like your sound, like you tend to stay recent in the way that you go about it. I wanted to ask, how do you keep up the pace for so many years?
Well, I'm aware that a man of my advancing years has to really try to stay relevant. You know, I don't want to just be like playing 90s music, you know, as a kind of throwback, you know, DJ. So no, I spend an awful lot of my week listening to every new tune that comes out. And anyone that fits my groove gets in the set. So yeah, I'm constantly looking for new tunes. So, and I don't know, I think probably you've seen it because sets at Mambo are like freer than others because you haven't really got there isn't really a dance floor, so you're not scared of emptying the dance floor. So you can take risks and you can mess about. And also, I just get really carried out. I mean, every time I come here, I'm looking at my set, I'm thinking, right, that's that new tune, try that out. That could really work here, you know. Then I get here and I just get really overexcited. I just play stupid, cheesy, funny holiday tunes. You know, I always think this week I'm going to be really cool. Don't forget, everybody's watching it on the live stream. Don't forget, you're playing for more than just the 40 people in front of you.
You're playing for a lot more.
20 minutes into the set, I just start getting overexcited. I start messing about, and then I just start playing these silly tunes. But I mean, I try and stay relevant. I mean, I'd probably play way more sort of relevant sets not here, but there's something about this place. But I think people forgive you because it is, at the end of the day, we're here on holiday. It's people on holiday. And it's not necessarily the hardcore clubbers, or it's the people who are too young to go into the clubs. So it's kind of it's a different vibe, and I do play different sets, and they can go anywhere. They just depend on how stupid a mood the crowd puts me in. But they always start it. It's their fault. I always go into thinking, right, tonight will be really cool, and then someone starts making me laugh, or someone eggs me on to be stupid, and then we're off.
I feel like the last set I remember you had like a girl like came into the booth, and you were just like, all right, go on.
She knew all the words to Yeah, she knew all the words to 212,
Yes.
and I didn't. So I said, "You have to come and sing it for me."
Yeah, you just kind of, all right, go on, dude. It was amazing.
And then the bouncers were trying to throw her out. I'm like, no, she's doing the
vocals. So I guess my last question before we get to the special segment, kind of going off of that, do you have someone you're saying now that you actually do your homework every week and you're listening to new music? Do you have a DJ, maybe an up-and-coming DJ or a DJ that's playing nowadays that's more relevant that you like that you could talk about? Or
I love tons. I love Fisher.
There you go.
I think Fisher. I see a lot of me in him.
Oh, okay.
And we get on really well. And he says, you know, like, you're my dad. And yeah, I really love Fisher. I mean, I play a lot with Dan Eats Everything. He always turns me on. Yeah. Ben Hemsley, I really like at the moment. LP Joppy. Mochak. Oh. Mochak is actually my illegitimate Brazilian son.
I feel the way he's played, like he just has so much.
Yeah, no,
energy.
he is actually my son. I slept with his mother 27 years ago.
All right.
It was one night in Curitiba, though we don't talk about it anymore. But yeah, that's my current top 5 DJs.
Amazing. Okay, going from that, we're gonna go right to our special segment, guys. We've got the Mambo Tales mystery box, ladies and gentlemen. So you are going to go into this mystery box, Fatboy Slim.
Right.
You're going to take out whatever you take out of that mystery box. You must speak about it.
All right. This is lucky. Well, there's only one thing in it, so I'm going to pick this in the mystery box. Oh, well, we already talked about this. So this is me and my son and my daughter in the booth at Mambo. Trying to remember which night that might have been. As you can see, we were very shirt coordinated that night. We don't actually confer about shirts. No, I think this is me in my happy place. Actually, I know when that was. That was during lockdown, because there's only us three. Yeah. That we were in our own bubble, and when there was the three of us, we were allowed to take the masks off. So that was a really funny night because no one was allowed to dance, and we managed to get out of here, and it was the first time we'd been out of the country for an awfully long time. We were having our family holiday, and we managed to get a gig, and they said, "You can play, but as long as you don't make anyone dance." I was like, "Yeah, that'd be no problem."
Lies.
No problem at all. Well, I really tried, but again, that thing happens, and then people started, and then. So we spent the whole night getting told off people dancing, and sit down. And we put all these signs up around saying, going, "Eat, sleep, stay in your seat."
I think it's hilarious. They were suggesting that you guys couldn't let anyone dance. Like, but yeah.
That is a real art. DJing not to make people dance. If you thought DJing making people dance was difficult, that's really fucking difficult.
Amazing. So. Final question, final segment. What we like to do to end the show is we have the DJ from the previous episode ask a question to the DJ of the current episode. Ooh. And then we allow the DJ of the current episode to ask a question for the next
Is
DJ.
this blind questions, or do they know who they're talking to?
They don't know who they're talking to at all.
Oh,
completely blind. They're completely blind. We weren't sure, so the question was asked. You kind of touched on this already, but we're going to just go with it anyways. What does Ibiza mean to you?
Ibiza to me means love, freedom, stupidity, family, but mainly love. Yeah. Love of music, love of your fellow human being, and love of the worship of the sun,
Beautiful answer, beautiful answer. Now your question.
Whoa.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Anything in the world.
Oh, that's too.
That's too broad.
I need parameters.
I had to bring it in.
Anything in the world.
It could be any crazy thing you can think of. I guess I don't know how to bring it in for you.
Who's your favourite Spice Girl?
There we go. We're gonna do.
That's your question.
We're leaving it there. Say no more. All right, Ferric Don, coming for you tomorrow, man.
Yeah, who's that? Who is
Ferric Don tomorrow.
Don't tell him it was me.
I think you'll find out.
Who was that question from, by the way?
So that question was from our resident DJ, Bella Nuit. He's a DJ that plays here every Friday, daytime. But yeah, thank you so much for
That's
doing
all right.
this,
Well,
man.
once again, thanks for having us. And yeah, it's no, it's I can't stress. Well, you've seen me here, and you know how often I turn up, even when I'm not even supposed to be here. I just go. I'm on the island. I've got my headphones.
Ready.
Just
I'm ready.
saying.
Just let me know.
So yeah, no, I mean, you know how much I love this particular place, and how much I love Alan and Christian, and Savvy, and yeah, it's a pleasure and an honour to play here, and one that I don't take for granted, and it is one of my favourite nights of the year.
I just want to say it's an honor to have you here to do this interview. Did one with your son a couple months ago with Woody, and he just smashed
Hold on,
it.
you
It's
did my
amazing.
son first.
Here's the thing, though.
It's 50th fucking episode. It took you 50 to get to me, and you do my boy first.
Sorry, man. You know, we had to.
What am I, chopped liver?
But yeah, it's just so amazing how brilliant he was musically, what he was speaking about. I mean, Dre can attest. It's just how he was breaking down the music already. So it's an honor to have you here. It's an honor to have your family here. And we can't wait to come watch.
Well, I'm going to go and see my son right now, if that's all right with you.
All right. Guys, this was Mambo Tales. This was Fatboy Slim. And we're out.